Okay, here we go.
You're misleading the public. You're lying to people.
We are part of a giant studio set. All the world's a stage in your mind.
Jesus Christ, can suck my dick? Suck my dick?
Suck my dick, Earth, with that bullshit.
Man's getting rude. Man's getting rude.
I told you women. You tell me I didn't say what.
I'm not saying that, right? It could be a what's it? It could be an onion ring.
A hairless monkey zipping through the vacuum on a potato rock.
Yeah, if we dumped what we found right now, we would be, it'd be bad. It would be bad.
Can't have can't have a flat earth and things making sense.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Gem's Flat Earth Sunday Roast. We're back once again with our now monthly roundup of news and views from across the imaginary plane. I am your host Gem, and feeling the pressure this evening are some cool guys to discuss some topics so hot they violate the first, second and third laws of thermodynamics. It's all the cool kids from the Debate Flat Earth and More Discord server, Cat Earth, Curved, Quartus and Lewis, and Kosher and Scott are missing as usual. Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Are we outputting? Because it all went a bit tits up on my laptop just as we started. Oh, yes, I see people and stuff now. It appears to be working. How you all doing? Sorry, guys.
My cat died today, so I'm very sad. I sound sarcastic, but I am sad. So
very sorry to hear that, Cat Earth.
Travesty.
Anybody
Sorry,
else?
I didn't mean to bring it down.
Anybody else had any? Anybody else had any dead pets or other loved things?
No, not today.
Well, I'm glad to confirm that with you, Lewis, at least.
Yeah, can confirm, no doubt.
I see. I have some troubling news, perhaps. DQ Cigarface is building end towers in the chat with some surprising and shocking success.
He's doing what? Building what?
Have a look.
He doesn't want to say the word in case you get banned.
All I see is 6.
No.
Oh,
it's further down. It's.
Well, I don't. My laptop seems to be about an hour behind. I don't know how it's managed that. Anyway, should we have some clips? I think we should.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, in fact, let me maybe kind of get ready to do that. Would probably be a good idea. Then,
Just so you know, because I'm on my phone, I'm going to leave the hangout every time we're watching, and then I'll join back in. Cause it's weird like that. I don't know why it does that.
Oh, okay. All right then. Well, flat earthers have been very good at learning and parroting their lines over the years. So it's not very often that a new argument emerges. And it has to be said that this new argument reaches stratospheric heights of silliness. Here is my old friend Spurs Chemo to tell us more, courtesy of Ranty Flat Earth's debate show.
Well, without further ado, if you want to stick yourself on mute, my friend, and we will get this show on the road, episode number 11, Under Pressure with Spurs Chemo, and here we go.
Great question. So we're talking high pressure and low pressure. She's saying, why is high pressure associated with clear skies and light winds, and low pressure associated with storms and rain? Well, put it together this way. You have to look at weather as three-dimensional. That's the key here. That was one of the most difficult things. College, they started talking about the weather in 3 dimensions. I was so used to just staring at weather maps that I'd see in the newspaper here. Down at the ground, but everything at the ground is occurring by what's happening aloft here. So let's look at the gesturing. This is the gesturing here, and this is high and low pressure here.
I am going to show that atmospheric pressure is a complete hoax. And with zero evidence of these constants, you have to ask, how did they derive a constant pressure of 14.7 pounds per square inch of atmospheric pressure? High altitude balloons do not burst due to an outside force pressing against the exterior of the rubbery surface, or because it lacks one. As the balloon rises, there is a constant force from the warm gas within the balloon pressing against it, and as it ascends, the rubber begins to freeze, in turn causing the balloon to become a lot weaker and a lot less stable, therefore making it easier for the warm gas to break open the balloon. You can clearly see the gas does not rapidly rush to fill the space or void. That's because there is no void to fill. The so-called pressure is the same no matter the height. The only thing that changes is the temperature. The molecules will move around freely in any direction until their temperature changes, which will cause them to either fall or rise. Internal body pressure is 14.7 psi, which would make sense if there were really an actual force pressing on you. But the problem is, your heart pumps blood through your body at an average 2.4 psi. If we do the math, we have up to 2.4 psi pressure pushing out of the body and 14.7 psi pushing in the opposite direction against our bodies. An elephant, for example, has a blood pressure of up to 3.5 psi, suggesting that butterflies also have an internal pressure of 14.7 psi. To put things into perspective, a butterfly should survive fine under 33 feet of water because it has an internal pressure of 14.7 psi. All we need now is an oxygen mask for butterflies and we are good to go. So, which organ creates this extra 12.3 psi? Did we evolve a magical organ that pumps out this extra 12.3 psi? Which brings me to the ear popping myth.
Time now for a second opinion from Dr. Zoe and Dr. Sarah. Welcome to you both. Let's get on with the calls. We've got Claire on the line. Good morning to you, Claire.
Good morning.
So 2 years ago, you were travelling in the car and your ears started to pop, and ever since then, you had this reoccurring ear popping.
Yes, I thought it would go, like, being on a plane or something like that, but it never did. Whenever I breathe in or swallow, I just hear constant crackling and popping.
Hello, my name is Dr. Jack Chauvet. I'm here to talk about why the ears continue to pop. The most common reason for popping in the ears is a dysfunction of the eustachian tube.
We can see ear popping is due to blood pressure and other health conditions. Fact. Which brings me to my bigger question. Why do things fall? Objects fall because of cold temperatures. Objects rise because of warm temperatures or hot temperatures. And this can be demonstrated.
Well,
that's really interesting.
Well,
So,
it's the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, not one fucking bit of that makes the slightest sense.
all the hot shit should be up there somewhere, right?
Yeah. It made perhaps, to be fair, it made perhaps slightly more sense before I edited it down, because it was a sort of a 20-minute presentation that we've just seen 5 minutes of.
Right at the beginning, it said edited and prosecuted by Chemo, and it's good as it got. That is as good as it got.
Also, At first, I thought maybe he was trying to be creative by making all the letters capital except the first ones. But then I started seeing it in every single other thing that he had, every other text he had on screen. And I think he just forgot. I think he unintentionally did that.
The argument seems to have I don't know, got a bit of legs, though. I mean, there's a few other people are sort of quoting it or not throwing it out, flat earth-wise, which...
Just the measure of a man. You can class all of those people as dumber than chemo on the graph. Fucking amazing.
I mean, it's not really question... Sorry, Coach.
Go ahead, Coach.
Well, sorry. What's going on, guys? I just, I hate to be the odd man out, okay? And I told him this the same day, because although I agree with what you guys are saying, but it's incorrect. It's blatantly incorrect in a lot of places. But I think the production is pretty good. I mean, as far as like making a video about something, like if it were about something true or real, I think it'd actually be pretty quality video.
Yeah, he made an effort to make it. It was definitely creative. I think it was definitely one of the better. Definitely one of the better presentations that I've seen on Ranties. I thought he made a lot of effort to.
He should step into fiction. Should work in that area.
Yeah, sure. I mean, pretty clear, Lewis, that he already has.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of like what he's done in a way, because it's a good sort of illustration of how easily they'll pick up on an idea if it confirms their bias. I mean, everyone's seen a barometer. People have them in their houses.
But what bias is it? This is what, the confusing thing for me is that it's nothing to do with flat Earth as usual, and these things, like you're saying, are all very easily verified.
Right.
Air pressure and stuff. It's a bit silly, in my opinion.
It's just the usual science is wrong and chemo is right. So
right.
I think that's it, isn't it? That's the bias. It's the mainstream science is wrong bias, and it allows for that to be true for a little bit longer. So I think that's where it comes in.
It's one more time where they can say, just Dell gave them the push and pull are the same thing, and you can't demonstrate otherwise. And this gives them the opportunity to say, if there's 14 pounds of force from pressure pushing in, why can't I feel it? Why doesn't it ruin the bike tire? Why,
Right.
It gives them one more question that they can ask, and they can feel like they've got you on the spot.
So what is the explanation, Lewis? Because obviously I'm not an expert, and you explained this to me earlier. Because I assumed, well, you've got the pressure and you're just adding more pressure or whatever, but you explained it a lot more clearly to me. What were you saying earlier?
Well, if you've got 6 pounds inside the tire and you got 14 outside, then you have a difference of 8 pounds of pressure, which is not enough pressure to break the rubbery material. There's a seal there. So the 6 pounds of pressure inside the tire isn't just going to collapse into nothing. There's stuff in there.
Right. There you go.
It's just that there isn't enough force to break the rubber and break the division of the two systems.
Hey, Lewis, how many pounds were in the tire or the tube before he added air to it?
Probably zero. I don't know. Did he show that?
Well, an open. You were talking. I thought. I'm a little confused now. You were talking to Alex before the show, and like with the open valve.
Oh yeah, if you had an open valve, then yeah, you have. Then you're gonna have 14 pounds inside the tire too, because now you have the open system. But you're going to have a much smaller volume of air in there because now you have the weight of the whole rubber tire compressing the whole thing down because gravity is fighting against that air pressure that would otherwise be inside the tire.
Right. If you have a REM tire set up and you just pop the valve stem in, so it's open to the outside air. You got 14.7 inside the tire. Pop your valve stem back into place. add air pressure where it reads 6 pounds. You've got the absolute pressure inside the tire before you began, plus the 6 pounds of gauge pressure. There is actually greater pressure inside the tire than outside.
Right. The pressure that the pressure gauge is reading is simply the force exerted on the walls of the inside of the tire.
Plus the 14.7 that it's not showing on the gauge.
Okay, that's what I thought as well.
Right. Well, yeah.
Plus,
I mean, the 14. Yeah, the 14.7 isn't gonna show on the gauge. No.
Right. If there were truly only 6 pounds in that tire or inner tube, whatever right the hand was jerking off with there, then it would not be. I mean, there would be like that would be a much lower pressure, and it would not appear inflated. It would be pretty crushed down if you were running that 8-pound deficit.
All right, this isn't a debunking show, guys.
Sorry, so I was just interested. That's kind of what I thought it was. What Curve's saying is that you're just adding pressure to what's already there, and that's why you have a. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Well, my debunk for this really is, but my barometer. I just can't think of anything. I can't apply any more to it than that. There are barometers. They measure stuff. They're measuring something,
Right.
and I know it isn't temperature because I had one in my house that was always roughly the same temperature. So and it showed, that the needle could be at either side of the dial. So that was doing something, and it wasn't a thermometer, So,
Right.
And I can't really spend any more time on it, apply myself to it any more than that, He needs to
Right.
explain how there have been barometers for, I don't know, a few hundred years and what they were actually measuring, because it definitely wasn't temperature.
Right.
Anyway.
And it's just silly. It's all silly stuff that's
Yeah.
easily confirmed.
But what's beautiful about it is, I think, the way that it sort of just gets picked up. I guess we could say on both sides. People have spent a lot of time, certainly in my server, arguing with them about it. And I know, I don't watch Oakley's anymore, but I know that there's been some toing and froing on there by all accounts. And it's just interesting, I think, how anyone can say just about the stupidest shit you can think of, and it'll still get taken seriously by flat earthers, and seriously enough by us on this side of the fence to sort of battle it out with him. So I do think that's interesting.
Yeah, I'd love to say it was just well presented and that's all it was, but I still think it's pretty clever what he came up with. It's original.
I think it is quite clever, actually. I know Quartus vehemently disagrees with me on this issue.
Yeah, you're wrong. Yeah.
Go ahead and disagree, Quartus.
I just have. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that. All right. Shall we move on? I think we can.
Yeah.
I did ask Chemo to come on, and I sent him the links and stuff, but he hasn't come. And I guess, in a way, I'm glad, because I think that would have generated some awkward moments for me as the show host.
Chemo's too big for us now. He's hit the big leagues, isn't he?
Anyway, so as we watch the Flat Earth content creators drift quietly into the shadows to spend the rest of their lives with one fist permanently wedged in their mouths, I am left struggling to find content for my little show, which must go on, at least fairly regularly. Thankfully, the gods at Google have given us a vast array of interesting characters with interesting views and interesting ways of expressing them. A recent YouTube trend I have seen arise is First Amendment auditing. Love 'em or hate 'em, they generate some interesting interactions. Let's take a look now at High Desert Community Watch in action.
Just make sure you stay off the sidewalk right here.
Just make sure you don't run with scissors. Make sure you don't sleep with your partner's wife. Make sure you don't run with scissors. Make sure you don't eat yellow snow. I don't need directives from you, man. I was fine.
Okay.
You have a good day.
Okay, thank you. You too. Just hang out on the sidewalk though. You're not in the...
You know what? Go in your car and just leave. Go do your job, please.
I am doing my job.
No, you're not.
Sure
This is illegal activity. You're law enforcement. You're not enforcing any laws. So if I was you, I would get wise, get your mustache back in that car, and go enforce some kind of law.
Okay, but you're not me.
But is this how much you make a year? What's your Gonzalez? Yes. What's your badge number, sir?
2102.
I'm gonna post your salary, and then when your constituents, when they see that you're here sitting here bothering people that are doing illegal activities, and you say you can hang out, we'll see if they agree with the way they pay you for you to just hang out. Because I know there's crime somewhere else. So.
I just want to come get your side of the story. That's all. And I'm just asking you to stay.
I'm just asking you that I don't need your directives, and you know what? If I want to cross, I have the right of way. So you sound stupid. You're dismissed. Thank you. You have a good day,
Yeah,
Officer
you can
Gonzalez.
cross. I'm just telling
You're
you.
dismissed, Officer Gonzalez. Have a good day. You're dismissed, sir. You're being rude now. You're dismissed. You can leave now.
I know I can leave. I can leave whenever.
You're gonna leave before I do, and it's called the walk of shame. But what you know what's keeping you is your ego. But you're gonna tuck tail and get in your car and leave.
Yeah, sooner or later, yeah.
Yeah, before I do.
What's that?
Before I do.
Yeah, that's fine. Just want to make sure that you stay out on the sidewalk, that's all. And if you cross, be careful, so you don't get ran over by one of the
Sounds
trucks.
stupid, man. Get back in your car. Don't tell other men what to do.
What's that?
You sound stupid. Don't tell other men what to do.
I'm not telling you what you do. I'm just saying to make sure you stay.
I don't
on
need
the
you to tell me
sidewalk.
what to do, man. You need to go.
Hey, that's great. Then you come here and you show how much smarter you are.
Yeah.
But if you're savvy driving officers to do something against you, that's not going to happen. Okay? I understand how you guys work. You guys are here to get them upset. So they do something. We'll get it on camera. You know, you sound like an idiot, sir. You sound like an idiot. Sergeant, you're an idiot. I'm telling you right now, we're about the same age. You're an idiot. You're the one right now by that conversation starting shit because you don't like us. No, listen to me. Be quiet. I'm talking. Okay? That's how it works. You work for me, sir. Whether you smile or not, you're going to sit there, you're going to be quiet, you're going to take it. Okay? Because I'm not a criminal. You don't get to rouse me up. You're going to shut your mouth and you're going to listen. You instigating by that comment, you're instigating stuff because you don't like us holding you accountable. That's what instigates it in your mind and your heart because you're rotten, dirty. Okay? So don't come over here with your bullshit. Somebody pushed him and he's asking you for protocol since you're the sergeant on here. Why don't you lead by example and lead all these little punks and show him how you're supposed to do it and give him what he's asking for because he asked you politely. Don't give him no bullshit. He got pushed. He deserves to know which of his employees pushed him. Okay?
I got it on camera.
So now, as you were, and be more respectful when you talk to him. The act of photography alone cannot be made suspicious because it's a legal activity.
One thing about that, not deemed suspicious. So officers, what they did was, they came out.
Sir, you're digging yourself in a deep hole because
you quoted the law. Let me finish.
You have to have reasonable, articulate.
Until they finish investigation to deem the.
So what you're saying? No, wait a minute. How do you know I'm not a terrorist?
Once it was not deemed suspicious, you have been released.
Sir, so that mentality right there, you're telling me that you could pull up to any citizen. You're telling me, listen, wait a minute. You're telling me that you could pull up.
Protected act.
Hold on. Hey.
Aren't you released? You're welcome to go.
You're telling me, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You're being live streamed on YouTube. You're telling me that badge and that gun gives you the right to stop anybody that you want. Excuse me. That you want to see if they're innocent. Now, what kind of backwards thinking is that, sir? You know what, sir? That right there disgusts me because you know what? You really, when you see this on YouTube, because you're going to be on YouTube. What is your badge number? 5582.
Ask him the serial number.
Sergeant Mont.
The badge numbers don't mean nothing.
What you said is a very scary thing, sir. What you said is you can just stop me to make sure I'm not doing nothing wrong.
I just quoted what you, the law.
Sir,
Sergeant Mont.
Sir, we're going to leave, sir.
What are you doing here?
Actually, I was trying to gather intelligence, but then you showed up.
Can I help you with something?
I didn't ask for help.
Excuse me?
I didn't ask for help.
What do you mean?
I said I didn't ask for help.
Oh, what are you guys doing?
Can you back off me?
Well, I'm just standing here.
I don't care. I don't care, dude. I don't give a how big you are. Can you back off?
No, I'm just standing here talking to you.
We live stream right now.
Okay. Do I look good?
Look at this DEA agent.
I don't work for DEA.
Oh, well, this is a DEA building, you guys.
This is?
HIDTA.
You guys got identification?
We don't need to. We're just doing a little story. We're journalists.
Journalists? You got credentials for?
We don't need it. We're free press, sir. You need to learn the law.
Security.
We're just taking some pictures for a story.
Okay.
So.
What's the story about?
Oh, I can't tell you. But you're the story now.
It's the sickest story.
You come up with me all stupid like that, but it's all right.
What did I do? I just walked up to talk to you.
Whatever, man. You think because you're a big guy and you got a badge and you're gonna walk? How'd you walk up on me?
That's
how a man walks up to another man. I'm 50 years old, man. You can fucking kiss my ass. You walk up to me like that? with your shoulders all squared up and stuff? Whatever, man. Why are you got? We were just standing here.
I stand and talk to my friend.
I ain't your fucking friend. Get the fuck away from me.
Why are you getting all aggressive?
Here you go, guys. Look at this guy.
Why are you getting all aggressive on me?
Just why are you entering my personal space? I wouldn't do that to you. Have some respect, man.
I'm just coming to talk to you.
I don't care. I'm asking you right now. Just step back away from me. What, are you going to shoot me? You guys are known for being freaking criminals with badges. Well, then you guys just stay away from us, man.
I don't have a gun or
When's the
badge.
last time you were arrested?
Who are you?
Who are you? When's the last time you were arrested?
Who are you?
Who are you? I'm just asking a question.
No, we don't answer just anybody. What's your name, badge number?
Yeah, I don't have to answer you.
Exactly. So go back and do what we pay you for. You see? Are you? Are you that easily provoked?
What's suck it easy? I don't understand.
You need to get your camera on my face.
You just walked up to me 15 feet. Hey, assault!
Fucking hands on me.
He's not assault. Come on. Good tactic, bro. But now you're gonna be sued. See, you guys, live stream. This is above what they think. He comes to us like a jackass and then tells us to get the camera out of his face.
I don't understand. Why are you gonna sue me? I'm just talking.
I'm not talking about you.
Oh, okay. I was just curious.
Get your camera out of my face.
Okay, you need to step back.
Get your camera out of my face. Back into your building. Get your camera out of my face.
Look at this guy. Fucking bully, little bully.
Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him.
You would take that as confrontation, and there's double standard. No, you know what? You're dismissed. You're dismissed. You can go. Thank you. You just made your department look very bad for no reason.
Take your hands out of your pockets, please.
Yeah, you're acting suspicious. Think you smell like marijuana too.
Why? Can I ask you why you guys are so aggressive? Yeah, you're acting more like Al Qaeda than we are. You're acting like a terrorist.
I thought you invoked your right.
You work for us, though, right?
I thought you invoked your right.
That's my decision.
We're not answering questions. We're asking you invoke your rights or not.
To answer
Are
any
you
questions?
engaging me in a conversation? No,
No.
You're just, oh, okay.
I'm
then,
making a
then you don't
statement.
need to ask me any questions if you're not engaging.
Okay, well then you're dismissed. You can go back and go.
No, I don't have to be.
I don't either.
All right, then we can stay here all day.
Fine. The children we employ, guys, over a camera. What's your name, badge number, sir? Toledano.
You got a question? You ask me something? What's your name?
And can I get your badge number?
And what's your name?
I'm a private citizen, sir. You work for the public.
I'm asking your name as well.
I wish to remain anonymous.
Have
Thank you.
a nice day. Have a nice anonymous day.
Thank you.
What's your department policy about identifying yourself, deputy?
Yeah, what's your badge number? Or
Are you engaging me in conversation? Are you talking to me now?
Can you back up? Can you back up?
Is this you talking to me? You're asking me a question? I'm asking your name. Well, I'd like to have your name, sir. What's your name?
I'm a private citizen. I don't have to give you.
We're gonna make a complaint.
What's your
Go
policy?
ahead, make a complaint. You already saw my name.
Toledano.
You already got my name. My name is Toledano.
Toledano.
Not Toledano, sir. If you're trying to insult me, that's not very nice.
That's a good way to get you to pronounce your name, isn't it?
If you're actually monitoring and want to see how stuff is done properly, wouldn't you come in, no cameras, no nothing, or maybe you have a camera, but on your body or something, be a citizen, come in and say, hey, I need a report. If we mistreated you at that time, other than coming in with an attitude, hey, just filming, you're trying to get a rise out of us, when we ask a question and you say, oh, no, I'm just doing this.
Okay.
If you just do it that way, then you would actually get, it's like the secret shopper program for fast food places.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be a more reasonable and accurate depiction of how you are actually treated?
Okay, now that's your opinion of how you think it would work out better.
Okay.
You want to hear my side of it?
Okay.
Wouldn't it be better if you obeyed the law?
Which is what?
Not throw me out of the public lobby where I'm allowed to be? We're talking, wait a minute, you're a sheriff, right?
Correct.
So we're not talking about opinions. We're not talking about what you would like. We're talking about what's legal. I came in here last time and because I didn't want to answer your questions, you threw me out like it was the 1950s.
Well, there was.
And I was in the back of the bus. Excuse me, sir.
Here.
See how you don't let me talk?
Okay.
We are allowed to film here no matter who is here, and that's what we were testing. If you look at my channel, I have over 500 of these.
Okay.
And I would say 80% of them are pretty decent.
Okay.
You're in those 20%, and you're actually like 5% of one of the only ones that I've come into have put hands on me and literally thrown me out.
Okay.
You assaulted me. So that's the whole issue here. It's not opinions. It's what you and I are allowed to do by law. And you crossed a line, and I did it. And I'm still going to be the bigger man and come and tell you that I apologize for anything that happened that day. That wasn't my intention. My intention is to practice my freedoms the way I like to practice them, not the way other people, because if I do it the way other people would like me to do them, then they're not my freedom, sir. And that is the whole reason why we do this. But anyways, I don't want to take up more of your time. I know you have people here, but I just want to let you know there's no hard feelings, and thank you for respecting my rights today. Okay, my name is Philip, by the way.
Sure.
Okay, you guys be blessed and be safe. Okay.
Well, that was horrible.
I knew you wouldn't like it.
Well, one thing I did like, though, was Officer Gonzalez's mustache. It's fucking epic. That is an amazing mustache on that man.
Yeah, that's why I included that clip, because I thought it did make me laugh when he said, take your mustache and get in your car and go. I don't know. Well, let's hear from some other people. Lewis, you're a gun nut.
I own a gun. Let's see. People like this are the reason that the government has to keep such a thorough paper trail on absolutely fucking everything. These people are the reason that the red tape has to exist. If people would just be reasonable, like these guys are just going around setting chips on their shoulders and waiting for people to knock them off. That's it. That's all they're doing. They find out where they know exactly where the line is, and they just walk right up to it and stand there and don't leave. And the only other people in these officers' experiences that do that are criminals.
I mean, isn't that though? Because I think how these guys see it is that their rights have been eroded. And the reason that or one of the reasons at least that their rights have been eroded is because they've allowed it to happen. And so the situation you're describing with the police, it is a reality, but I think what they're setting out to do is to try and change that. And for me, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing if there are people lurking around in the lobbies of police stations with cameras. And I think, he said it at the end that they're his rights and he wants to practice them in the way that he wants. And
that's true.
He's
free. He is free to do that. That's true.
Right. And
he definitely needs to practice.
Well, I mean, they test.
They
certainly test the limits of the law. I think in the way that they talk to police. They're not very polite to them, and they're obviously trying to provoke responses, as you say. And someone asked in the chat, are they just going up to random cops? Well, no. What they generally do is they go and film somewhere that is likely to provoke a reaction. So they'll walk into a post office and start filming in the post office and buy a stamp.
What was that thing outside the DEA place? What was going on there?
Well, that was an interesting one, wasn't it? Because again, they just that would be an example. They'll just go and film a government office, or sometimes they've done prisons and things like that, the outside of prisons, just anywhere where some official is likely to come and ask them what's going on. So yeah, that DEA one. But I thought it was interesting. One of the things you see this guy use a lot as a sort of protection tool is he tells people he's live streaming on YouTube. When clearly he isn't always doing that. But you saw in that interaction with that really big guy, he was really right up against him. And as soon as he said that, he backed off. And, it's interesting that police, he's a police officer, was he very quite easy, very quick to be aggressive.
Yeah.
In that way, and very quick to stop being aggressive when he thought he would get caught for it. So it's go ahead.
Yeah. I was just say, though that was a different interaction because he was ordinarily dealing with cops outside of a police station, and I think that he got froggy and he was actually dealing with he was doing what you said, like taping in places like that, but he was outside of a DEA agency, is what it seemed like. And those guys, they take investigating things like that a little bit differently, because they like that's why they look like they sent several cars out there. And they sent a bunch of people to investigate what was going on.
Right.
But so they do things a little bit differently. But I agreed with what you said about the about it being like necessary. Like even though I hate that guy, like I really hate him. Like he's annoying and he makes me on the cop side. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I think that keeping them in check and like what Lewis had said about the red tape and all that stuff. Yeah, I don't think that's necessary to go that far. But at the same time, it's necessary to make sure that they're kind of being kept in check so that, you know, people don't go outside the bounds. And, you know, they have, like, the cop had his camera on him and they were all pretty courteous and nice. Like, a lot nicer than I expected them to be, so.
Right.
Yeah, like, this guy's not keeping anybody in check. They're not adjusting their behavior because of him. What surprises me is how much tolerance he gets from these people, because he's just out to be as annoying as he can be in the hopes of provoking a response that he generally fails to get. So, you know, my regard for the patience of the people who have to put up with lunatics like this goes up when I watch this stuff.
Yeah, they're trying to bait the police into saying, into doing something and overstepping their bounds, and then they get to say to all their viewers, look, see, the system's horrible, it's corrupt, they're really taking everything we have away, and there's nothing we can do. It's this fear mongering that they're trying to stir.
No,
but
yeah.
That isn't to suggest that there isn't an erosion of our rights, because there is. I wouldn't disagree with that.
That's why I want to make it clear. I'm not on the side of this dude in any way whatsoever. This dude sucks. I'm just saying the function that that he ends up in serving. Not his way of doing it, but just that function in general. I think that kind of stuff is necessary, just because it's necessary that happens, that they're kept in check. Maybe not by these means, but just in general.
Well, I have to say, I don't dislike the guy. I thought he was funny, and I thought he was often sincere, and he is antagonistic, but I don't think he was too bad. I mean, I don't know. A lot of the stuff I saw, I mean, he wasn't at least walking into places. He was outside usually, and he was still getting hassled by people, and I don't know. I don't dislike the guy. I'll watch him again.
I thought some of the stuff he was saying was funny. Like the take your hands out of your pockets. I think she smelled like marijuana too.
yeah.
That was good.
It was a
really
great
good.
line. And the one about well, I was trying to gather some intelligence, and then you guys showed up.
Yeah, that's an amazing bit.
Yeah, I love that line. Yeah, and he comes up with a few like that, and. I don't know. It's because, you know, I've had some interactions with the police which have been absolutely terrible, and where you are up against egos, and you know, he for me, it's good to see him taking them down a peg or two sometimes, you know, because I think they do overstep the mark a lot, and I haven't got much support for this on this panel.
I've only just jumped back, had to run out, but I'm going to say this: there's not enough respect for the police, and people are mugging them off. They're not respecting them. There's this great video at the moment where this policeman just batters this kid because he's giving him so much lair. And he's like, "Do you want me to speak you up?" He's like, "Oh, you're arrested." He's like, "No, I'll put my gun away. I'll put my taser away. I won't arrest you. I'm just going to beat you." And he does. He lost his job in the end, but it was hilarious to watch. Like, beat the shit out of this guy. And he deserved it, because he's a cocky little shit. And we need to start respecting our authority.
That was you paying respect to them? That's the story you came up with?
Well, okay.
He needed it. If you watch the video,
does that behaviour deserve respect? I don't think it does. And a lot of the things that I've seen police do, definitely, you know, I think, I don't know. It's difficult to make an assessment, isn't it? But for me, I think that the reason that police have lost a lot of respect is because, you know, they haven't earned it in the way that they did in the past.
But also the reason they've lost their respect is because the media is constantly going on about police brutality when there is none, or where they're completely justified. And, you know, they're constantly creating an image of, it's the same with everything, disrespect the authorities, disrespect everything. It's a thing that's being pushed on us. I really believe this. And we need to have some more respect for our police, because people will stop policing We carry on like this, and then where are we going to be at if we can't even be policed?
The issue is that there are policemen who have this huge ego, and they just immediately assume that the person they're dealing with is this bad case that they're used to dealing with when they're not, and that causes a lot of injustices, and that's what Jeremy's talking about with the problem of ego. And that's like the what was that? There was a sergeant or something. It looked like they were standing outside of a restaurant. They had that caution tape all around.
Yeah, I don't really know what was going on there. Some incident had gone off. I think what was happening was there was another auditor there that had been sort of pushed out the way by a cop or something, and of course they don't. They only need to be touched by someone, and they're they're on the phone to their lawyer. So.
Well, I mean, if they were on the wrong side of the tape, or they were pushing up against the tape,
right.
I can see why the cop would do that, even though, I mean, the cop should say, "Could you step back? We need you to step back." But
you could also imagine in that sort of situation, you can also imagine some young, full of it cop just pushing people out of the way as well.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
And as I say, these guys are hypersensitive to anything like that. They don't want to be touched by anyone.
Hey, so did you guys think that they were in California or Hawaii, or where do you think that he was exactly? Because I couldn't exactly tell.
Oh, it's California, I think. It's called High Desert Community Watch. So I think that's somewhere in California.
Okay.
It's High Desert.
Wait, those
anything
dudes.
To you?
I'm sorry, Jim. I was saying those dudes definitely made me respect them cops more.
Did they? Oh, well. I don't know. Maybe it's my... I'm going to say my criminal past, but I don't have one. I've just been... being treated like a criminal past, then I should say, perhaps.
But okay, this is the point I really want to make about police and all this, right? Because people are set up to react in this way, the way they are, and this is why they will get in trouble. This is why police brutality, in quotation, happens. If you were just respectful to the officer, you're being stopped, you're not going to get beaten up, you're not going to be mistreated. Just follow their instructions. But people constantly want to, I know better, I know the law, I know this and that, I know how to do your job better. I'm not surprised the police aren't handing out more ass whoopings, honestly. I think that's what needs to happen. Not shootings, just whoop their ass, do you know what I mean? And leave them there. In my opinion, it's a bit harsh, but I just think people are out of control. And if you keep telling people the police are bad, you're setting them up to be treated badly by the police. And also, they're in danger. They don't know what kind of nutter's talking to them, who's going to pull a gun, who's going to pull a knife. So that would be my thing in defense of the police. Sorry.
I think going to violence is sort of the wrong answer unless the person tries to leave before the office. Never mind. We're overstepping the bounds of this show.
Sorry.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be a bit of a serious one, but there you go. Anyway, go ahead, Kev.
The question I have for you crackers here that seemingly have had terrible experience with the cops. What are you up to? I've never been mistreated by police or anything like that. I'm wondering what you've done to encounter, this behavior that's got you so against the popo.
Well, for me personally, there's been two significant interactions that I can tell you about. It would probably take a long time to tell you so, but briefly, I used to manage pubs, and the pub I was at was robbed. Myself and the manager, I was the assistant manager, were robbed at gunpoint, and obviously in the UK, a crime involving a firearm is a very, very serious thing. And a lot of police get involved, but anyway, I was arrested on 2 occasions for conspiracy to commit this robbery, and I was just a victim. I was just a guy a young lad who ran a pub and ended up locked in a police cell all day and a really, really aggressive, abusive, intensive interrogation. Way, way, way beyond the bounds of PACE, which is the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, that governs how police behave in interviews and how people are treated in custody. All the rules of that were broken, and I think you guys are in danger holding that view that all you've got to do is keep your nose clean and you'll be fine. That's what I thought, and that ain't true.
No.
And the second
I agree with you on that.
and the second interaction was actually quite recently. Well, I don't know, about a year ago or something. And it was I made a complaint in a McDonald's drive-through that escalated to the police being involved, and I objected very, very strongly to the police being involved, and it was all about egos. It was the ego of the guy in McDonald's, and definitely the ego of the police officer, who was quite happy to just break the law in order to try and threaten and intimidate me. Quite happy to threaten to arrest me under Section 5 of the Public Order Act. For swearing, when I didn't swear at him, and I didn't swear at all. But this guy in McDonald's said I did swear, that act was amended in 2013 specifically to stop police officers using it as a way of threatening to arrest people simply for swearing. But he was quite happy to throw that at me rather than just admit that he was wrong, that it had absolutely nothing to do with him, and that he should just go away.
There must have been a lot of cases exactly about that then.
Yeah. Well, it was a thing because there are these cop shows on TV, and a lot of them here that they take place in city centres, where that are full of drunks being rowdy, and all the time the police are constantly threatening to arrest people or actually arresting people for a public order offence simply because they heard somebody swear. I'd say that could lead to a public order offence, but they amended that act so that is no longer just swearing is no longer. There has to be evidence of there being disorder as a result of it happening,
which is perfectly reasonable.
So if you went up to someone and said "fuck you, shithead," and then he started swinging his fists at you, well, then that would be, do you know what I mean? Then they could arrest you under that act because as a result of you swearing at someone, there was disorder.
Beat your ass.
But anyway, we've gone on a bit too long with this. Shall we have a bit of fun with something a bit more lighthearted?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yay.
I think we should. Okay, check this out. Are you ready to play? Is it less popular than Flat Earth? Yes, for your chance to win every single penny that we make from tonight's show, all you have to do is come up with an everyday search term that is less popular than Flat Earth. Think it's easy? Type your entry in the chat now.
Oh boy.
I have to make this shit up myself, There's not a lot of content to go at. So
we can win all the money from tonight's show.
Yeah, all of it. Every penny that we make.
That's quite a lot.
Look, I have Jack, Objection. I can't type in the chat. Chrome kept falling over for the watch page, so I had to switch to Edge, and I'm not signed in on Edge, and I don't know the right password, and so I can't type.
Oh, it's going to go wrong for
Well, you can just say yours.
Well, when I have a guess, I will.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Okay, so who wants to go first?
Oh, shit.
Well, is the one in the chat?
Can someone type Cat Earth in? Is Cat Earth popular? I don't know.
I put one in there.
It's the best.
Well, to set this up, so here is the current graph from July of the beginning of June, really, of last year to now. So this is 1 year of interest in flat Earth. This is the past year graph.
Okay, we've got one. Entry thrush.
Thrush.
Entry thrush. Is he saying his entry is thrush or entry thrush?
I think his entry is.
Okay, here's
Okay.
one. Here's one. Prostate puppets. I should say that this has got to be an everyday phrase. It's got to be something in common use.
It's you know,
prostate puppets is a winner.
We have a winner.
Okay, so I'm going to disallow that one on the basis that I did stipulate an everyday phrase, and it's not everyday.
Right.
So,
but if we go back to thrush,
right.
I'm not sure if we
thrush is more popular.
I like the one Quarter showed me is one I like. Try potato.
Oh my god, potato must be more popular, surely.
Without the E, perhaps.
Did I misspell potato?
Yeah, take the E off.
Oh, fuck me.
Potato is definitely more popular overall. And it
Oh my god, that's a huge disparity.
What's the objective here? More or less popular?
Okay, there's some more. We're going to try Mangina from Laurie Gale.
That's definitely more popular, surely.
I don't want Mangina.
No,
Gale.
Mangina is less popular than Flat Earth.
Poor Lewis.
But they are all a bunch of manginas.
Think of the search terms, like the images Lewis is going to get on his next search now.
I think
Oh no.
Mangina is a good one because that
Thrush,
is an everyday one.
Entry thrush.
Top hemorrhoid cushions. I don't think that's an everyday phrase, is it? Oh, here's one. Here's a good one. Trans investigations.
Yeah, but that's all done by flat earthers.
Yeah, I trans investigations. That's
Really?
unbelievable.
How about let's try? They're having a remarkably easy time of this.
They are,
Well, to be
aren't
fair,
they? I tried loads and couldn't come up with any.
They're just you guys gotta stop using all the memes from Flat Earth, okay?
Right, let's see what else we've got in the chat.
I'm still confused. Are we looking for more or less? How do you win?
You've got to get less popular than Flat Earth.
All right. Well, at some point, is my suggestion, is that an everyday term or?
What was your suggestion?
It's typed in the chat here in the Hangout.
I'll just type it in here.
Oh, I don't think
Thank you, Lois.
rectal insufflation.
Thank you.
I don't know what that is.
That's at the
But
rock
it
bottom
is-
there too,
It's
curved.
definitely less. Here's a good one. Cod in.
It's therapeutic.
Here's a good one. Cod in parsley sauce.
Oh, come on, that's got to be more popular.
What in parsley sauce?
Cod. COD. Cod.
Oh, okay.
It's a thing we have in Britain, you know. Cod in parsley sauce. How are they coming up? They're cheating now, aren't they? They're obviously checking these first. Okay, try rectal thermometer. There's a lot of bottom-orientated ones, aren't there?
Yeah, I know.
Oh well, it's not on the bottom anymore.
Right, let's get more internety.
Oh, type in Trump.
Trump.
Who's more popular, Trump or
Trump
Flash?
is going to be way more
It
popular.
better be way more. I'm scared for the internet.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
Flat Earth
Yeah,
is
boy.
fine.
USA.
Well, we finally found one that is more popular.
Trump can use that for 2020. This would be good.
Anyone else got one?
Oh, I see Toady. Toady has said, oh, actually, there's a couple good ones
Yeah,
there.
Toadie's got Star Thoughts.
Star Force. I see Snowflake. What are we?
All right, well, do them both, please.
All right. Snowflake. Okay, look at that.
Hey, look at that. We're finding
Damn straight.
Snowflake.
Pretty close.
Sort of intersects flat Earth there.
Yeah.
What's the
Star
big,
Force?
What's the big rise there, though?
I'm not
Probably
sure.
when the meme started.
Is that like
yeah.
winter? Is that sort of...
That's Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, as it snows.
But you got it set to the United States.
Oh.
Right. Interesting.
Star Force.
No, Fort.
Fort.
Star Fort. Yeah. You know, like the Statue of Liberty is built upon. It's a sort of a... Oh,
No.
that's
I
less
did not know
popular.
that.
Why would anybody search for that, though?
Oh, it's it's part of this mud flood thing.
Oh.
They're all into star forts.
Oh, I did it with 2 words, and it rose significantly.
Well, try mud flood.
Mud
All right,
flood,
let's
yeah.
do- Mud flood. 1 word.
Well, this has turned out to be less fun than I thought it would be, but
I
Still
think it's quite
nothing.
fun.
All right, there was a couple up there that I wanted to try.
Oh, you should do moon landing hoax though. You should definitely. Start.
yeah,
That's a
let's
good
do
one.
that. Yeah.
That's going to be more popular.
No.
I think maybe
Wow.
stick a space in though for moon.
Oh yeah.
No.
How can that?
Wow.
I
That's your excellent video, Jem. Obviously.
Okay,
Cool.
take hoax off. Just take hoax off and just see what happens. Oh, thank you very much.
Okay. All right. My God, what's happened here? Holy shit.
Right, so that's as we've hit the 50th anniversary, and it's
That's about when you did your presentation on Ranty, isn't it? I think?
yeah, that's what
Yeah,
it'll be. Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
you go down here,
the
if you
worldwide
go down-
interest shot up when my presentation came out.
if you come down here, everyone's in Nebraska.
Oh wow.
What's that all about? Over
we,
here in Massachusetts and Nebraska.
we maybe should have tried the worldwide, the worldwide setting.
Whoa. Yeah, absolutely. What are we doing?
You're set to United States by default. It's the top left tab above the.
Yep. Excuse me, everyone.
Rectal thermometers I hear are very popular in Norway, so.
Try moon landing faked.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Of course, he goes right back to rectal. What is your deal, man?
Just don't even worry about it.
It's a personal interest, okay? Like
It's
you know,
not a
I don't talk anymore about
Cat Earth happened to say it, okay? Oh.
space.
All right, well, that
Put a
didn't
space.
work either.
Someone's wondering if it's actually searching queries only from Nebraska.
Put a space between moon and landing. Don't you have the Google? You should know this stuff.
Yeah, Lewis. Moon landing. It's 2 words.
Nice moon landing, 1 word. Like never.
Okay.
Now
see,
combine landing and faked.
Yeah,
Make
landing
those
fake.
1 word.
Yeah. Make it all 1 word. Moon landing faked.
That's
Spell it all
what
wrong.
the Germans do, isn't it? They just
Oh, chemtrails, good one.
stick
No,
words together, don't they? Chemtrails is less
Yeah.
popular.
Much less.
No way.
That's
Ooh,
unbelievable.
what about Illuminati?
9/11. Try 9/11.
Oh, God. Yep, of course.
Yeah.
Still dwarfs it.
What about Illuminati? That's a conspiracy thing.
Twitwit says moon landing conspiracy.
Yeah, maybe.
Illuminati, yeah, I like that one. Ooh, Illuminati's a lot more popular.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about lunar wave?
What?
Oh, Lewis.
Lunar wave.
Lunar wave has to be way down the list. So
Moon landing conspiracy.
can't possibly make that 2 words. It's just too hard.
Twit wins. I don't know how we're going to pay all these people. We never had any money to start with.
Well, yeah. What about Eric Jabay? I'd be really interested to see who's more popular, Eric Jabay or Flat Earth.
Bigfoot.
Oh my god!
Oh, look at that! Now that's interesting. Bigfoot is more popular, but only just.
Gas pressure is right there. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Wow.
I wonder if you put gas pressure without a container, what would happen?
Let's not. I mean, okay, all right.
Okay, Rupert Tao says Loch Ness.
Loch Ness.
That's got to be higher, surely.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good
Me
start.
and these combining words.
Nice.
Is Loch Ness yellow now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
it's
yes.
yellow, yeah.
I figured out how to add a comparison over here on the
Oh,
right.
yeah, what, by clicking where it says add comparison?
That's right. That's
Yeah.
what I did.
How did you find that, Lewis?
I'm a genius.
Well, anyway, it's always worth giving these things a try, and that, didn't work at all.
I want to see what Eric Jabay would be like if he's roughly the same as Flat Earth, because he's kind of...
Anyway, just for comparison, potato, this is where potato is, the green here. Comparison to all of them.
That's the way it should be.
Make lengthen the time period to like
5 years.
Yeah, do 5 years and but leave potato on.
On.
Yeah, leave potato there.
Past 12 months, yeah, just change that to past 2005.
Whoa, holy shit, what's happening every year?
Twice a year at Easter.
Anniversary of the potato family.
Every Christmas and Easter, people look up how to
It's a
cook
sinus
potatoes.
rhythm. Like if you saw this on a medical display, you'd think it was somebody's heartbeat. Like it's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. People are eating a shitload of potatoes. Jesus Christ.
Looking them up.
Damn straight.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they, how to do roast potatoes at Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
You can see here where they're doing the barbecues in the summer and they want to make potato salad.
Yeah.
That little
Yeah, you're
blip
right.
in the middle there.
Mostly the blip is Thanksgiving and Christmas, but they come close together, so that's fine.
It's frightening how
Right.
when you think how predictable we are based on this sort of data and what you could use those predictions for,
Mm-hmm.
You could run the world with this sort of information.
Yeah,
couldn't you?
The potato world, yeah.
Yeah, you could totally manipulate the world potato market just with this data.
Let's try corn.
Let's try corn.
Spell it with a K. Spell it with a K.
Wow.
What an interesting repeating graph.
Isn't it? That is interesting.
Can you
Hold on,
compare
but what
corn
was the
with
yellow?
band corn?
What was the yellow one that's got that?
Oh my God.
That huge spike.
Loch Ness Monster. What the fuck happened with Loch Ness Monster?
Obviously, it hit the news for some reason there, didn't it?
Oh my God.
There's a discontinuity around 2015 in the way they were tracking numbers, and if you bring up just one item, it'll actually have a footnote that explains that they merged two discontinuous data sets together. So,
right,
that might be all that is. So, and probably is. It's probably not just a massive day where everybody typed in Bigfoot.
All right, let's see. Is none of these? Let's turn. Well, 9/11 wasn't all that popular. I'm just gonna put that back
yeah.
in.
I mean,
Did you type 9/11 or 9-11, or did you just type 911?
911.
Yeah, well.
So now 9/11 has a repeating.
Yeah, maybe probably every September.
Every September.
Yeah, that's been fucking
Yep.
shock.
Every September. Yep. This is when all the parents teach their kids about what happened.
Here's a good one. Area 51.
oh, the spike. Yeah.
We would expect to see a huge recent spike.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
This is, remember, Loch Ness Monster gives us reference for potatoes, and now
Yeah.
51.
Yeah. Wow. We've got to
There you
keep
go.
an eye on that thing, haven't we? I probably should. I forgot all about that. That would have been a good subject for a little report, wouldn't it?
Okay, so speaking of Area 51, let's try UFO. Okay.
They're consistently popular.
Yeah. I can't get it to rest up here. There we go. That was November 8th to the 14th of 2015.
Don't know what happened then.
And then December 17th to the 23rd of 2017.
It's my ex-wife's birthday, and she
Oh.
is from another planet.
I don't know. When was Roswell, supposedly? So maybe there's some anniversary or something that spikes interest.
Anyway, I think this has run its course.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't think it had that much of a course to start with. Right, what else have I got?
Take your mustache and get back in your car, Jim.
Just getting back to my notes. Anyway, so thankfully there is some new Flat Earth content for us to have a look at. After spending 2 years hiding away from having their views challenged and instantly banning anyone who tries, some flatties on the 24/7 Flat Earth Discord server have decided that 2 years of resonating with each other and an intensive study course in Nathan Oakley catchphrases is sufficient training for them to take on all comers in a series of weekly debates known as Friday Night Fights. Apologies in advance, I may end up talking about me quite a lot in this one. So, without further ado, Friday Night Fights. The channel host is Dr. Science. I haven't got it ready, by the way. It'll get there in a second.
So, you think you have what it takes to come against the 24/7 Flat Earth community? Ha 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 ha! Puny mortals, prepare to test your might. Welcome to the Flat Earth Initiative, Friday Night Fights.
Hey, and welcome everybody to the Flat Earth Initiative Friday Night Fights. I am your host, Dr. Science.
Yeah, good evening, I'm Effie Jedi.
And welcome to another exciting episode of the Flat Earth Initiative. Tonight we have the Friday Night Fights. We have a good show for you tonight, guys. We have with us today, on Team Globe, we have Gem Panda, Zanuck, Gummy Bear, Trista, and Kosho. Welcome, guys, to the Flat Earth Initiative.
Hello.
Hey,
This
human
is
sheeple.
Friday Night Fight.
Yep.
Is this what you go for Friday Night Fights?
This
Am I
is it
in
right here,
right?
buddy. Yep, you're in it right now.
Sheeple, welcome, brother. Hey, thank you very much.
So 1 minute, you can explain after you use the word objection. You have 1 minute to explain without the other team interrupting. If the other team interrupts within that 1 minute, I will give that person a warning. So please do not interrupt within that 1 minute time period that the person's explaining on either team, whatever side. Does anybody have any questions on the rules, or we can go through anything that you guys would want to discuss about the rules?
Just to clarify,
Yes, I have a question. Can I ban Gem Panda?
No.
No.
He's in the debate right now.
All right. So the globe side will start with our own chosen one, the International Space Conspiracy, as we named it.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start the timer. You're gonna have 2 minutes, and let me know when you're ready to start. I ask that the other team, Team Flat, do not interrupt them while they're explaining. They have 2 minutes to explain their topic. Let me know when you're ready.
All right, I am ready to start now. All right, so what we're trying to talk about right now is the conspiracy to do with space. And mainly this will talk, what we're referring to here is the claim that everything NASA does is fake. Now, the globe side does not agree that NASA is faking everything or even anything. Because what we from a lot of stuff that we can see from evidence, we can see pictures, we can see videos of stuff NASA does, and of course you would say that these are fake, these are CGI. Well, then we would challenge you to prove why they are fake, why they are CGI. And on top of this, we don't only have pictures and videos, we also have NASA. NASA has given data of stuff that they've of their launches, but on top of this, third-party confirmations have actually been able to confirm this data. Any person who was there with a radar has been able to get NASA transitions and confirm that this was actually taking place. And furthermore, you can actually yourself, by getting a telescope, for example, see things like the ISS transit of the moon, something that you can do yourself and see with your own eye. And if you're claiming that this stuff is fake, then prove why it is fake. Don't just claim it.
2 minutes.
Yep, we're fine. We're done.
Go ahead.
All right. So within that topic, we've got lots of things to talk about. The stories of space and the things within it. I don't think any flat earther would claim that we can't see the International Space Station transit the moon and the sun, for example. I don't think that happens. Any flat earther would understand this argument. We do see some. Ultimately, one of the arguments comes down to verifiability. With the International Space Station, you just see something in the sky, and then you get TV images of what happens in the International Space Station. Now, we claim that those images are faked in some manner or another. Not hand-waving it all with CGI. There's lots of other ways that they can do these things. For example,
objection.
Objection on the table.
I think to describe seeing the ISS, to just dismiss it as something in the sky, I just don't see how you can present that as an intellectually honest position. Not for an inquiring mind, someone who is genuinely interested in what's going on in the world. Well, I saw this ISS-shaped thing transit the moon. It's just a thing in the sky. I won't apply any more thought to it than that. I can just dismiss it as a thing in the sky because I can't personally go there and touch it. That's absurd.
I hadn't really got into explaining much more. I mean, yes, I did say that we on the ground can only do certain things. We can just see this. We can watch it go across the sky. We can buy it or download apps for our phones and see the predicted path of when we should be able to see it, so we can, time when it's going to transit the moon and the sun. We're told where it is. We're not denying this. Should we actually be able to see this object from down on Earth, the size that it is and the distance away? That gets called up into debate quite a lot. Angular size at this distance, the capacity of high-powered optical equipment to see things at these distances with the stuff that we use, especially the definition that we get down here on Earth. So should we be able to see it at the distance it is and the size it is? It's hard enough to see an airplane at 36,000 feet. We're now talking about something at 230, 240 miles away? 3 times, I'll give you, maybe 2 times bigger than an airplane. Angular size over distance, I mean, that's just logical. It's going to get much, 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 much smaller. Is it too far away for us to see? And it's not just hand waving it all away. If the thing
Well,
about
I mean, what you're saying is something that is quantifiable. You're just doing a sort of History Channel ask the question and not bother to answer it. I mean, there's a published size for the ISS and a published distance. So if you're saying it's the wrong size, then what calculations have you made to determine this?
At the moment, I'm just walking you through the logical steps. I've only opened my mouth for 30 seconds and you're saying I'm this, that, and the other. At the moment, we're talking about angular size. Yes, it is quantifiable. Yes, there is maths using our naked eye.
Okay, let's see your maths.
Yeah. I haven't got any with me. This is my own research. We're going to be pulling maths out of our asses every 5 seconds. We're not going to be getting it.
Well, you're making a claim that is about maths. You're saying it's the wrong size. This is a thing that can only be answered with numbers. Where are your numbers?
At the moment, I'm explaining angular size. This thing is said to be 250 miles away, twice the size of a jumbo jet.
We all understand that things get smaller if they're a long way away. Where are your numbers?
Hey, Gem Panda, do we have a protocol here in terms of interruption?
He's not interrupting.
I thought
he's not.
I can object anytime I want if I want.
Yeah, if you wanted to object, you could.
At the moment, he's just shouting at me and asking me for numbers. I'm walking through the logical step. I'm putting down the argument, as Gummy Bear did as well, so we can get the debate off and running. You're screaming and shouting at me for maths. Look at the logical steps. Aeroplane, International Space Station. The distance is, should we be able to see it? Let's look into it. I've looked into it. I don't think you can. Through my research, the numbers don't seem to add up. You got numbers that say that we do.
Okay, so we have.
You're making the claim that you have numbers that they don't. So let's see your numbers. You seem very reluctant to show them to us. If you got them, why aren't they already published? I would think, but surely you'd have them here for us. How can this be difficult?
We're talking about the International Space Station. I'm putting into doubt whether we would be able to see it or not. Do you want to ask me
you apparently done research and you figured this out.
Around in circles talking about maths that I don't have.
Jedi Master.
Why don't you have it? You're making the. Well, why are you asking this question? What you're saying is it the right size? I don't think it is. In fact, I know it isn't, but I haven't actually bothered to make the calculation to see whether it is or not. This is a question of maths. Where is your maths? It's simple.
Yes, and I
so you have nothing to back this claim up. You're just doing a History Channel on us.
Excuse me. Can you stop yelling?
Aliens, visit
the Earth. Can you stop yelling? Can you stop yelling? I don't need to hear you yelling, dude.
You have a guy who comes on here and yells as well, and nobody has a problem with him.
Jim, let me take it for a second.
Cares? Why it just got so emotional all of a sudden?
Yeah, calm down.
Who's that one that keeps butting in? Let them talk. You're not a moderator.
So FE. So I posted a couple pictures, and I understand your curiosity as to if or can we see objects in the distance. And so knowing their sizes and knowing their angular size, we can actually figure out by a different location on the Earth how far those objects are away, which we have done. And I've shown you a couple pictures of how we've done that. So it is far within the realm of possibility, that we've actually seen the transits against the moon, seen the angular change by different observation points, keeping those angles constant, and then calculating the actual size, and it validates and matches up perfectly, comports with reality of the ISS space station being, a football field long. So we're not seeing anything unusual there whatsoever.
There's an objection on the table.
Objection. Are you trying to use
You have 1 minute.
that the light travels in a straight line? And are you trying to disregard upcurving refraction, Sonic? My objection is tabled.
Do you yield to somebody on your team? Human Sheeple?
Yeah, why don't you take advantage of that yield? That's kind of a weak argument.
Human Sheeple, do you yield to somebody on your team? Or do you yield the rest of your time?
Ask him, Sonic, my objection. Does your assertion that you have triangulated the position of the ISS, is it built upon the assumption of a spherical Earth, and is it assuming that light travels in straight lines? Yes or no?
He yields to the other team. Go ahead, other team.
So no, the refraction is a very small component. We're talking about very small distances on the Earth. The curvature is also a small factor not needed to take into consideration for the size and accuracy we want to obtain with these measurements. So your answer is no. Those are not factors.
Additionally, we're looking up in the sky. We're not looking to along the horizon. So refraction will be very minuscule in this, towards the distance. And if you can demonstrate otherwise that there is a bunch of refraction when looking upwards, then we might have to concede more to you. But so far, that hasn't been demonstrated in any capacity.
Well, I'm sure that was a lot of fun. I watched that and it was really good, and it went on and on and on, and it actually got better, I think.
Yeah. I was heavily criticized for how heated I was, but yeah,
no.
it's
they thought that was yelling.
No,
Yeah, they got no idea.
that was actually really good because the AI guy, he's usually furious with people. He's
Right.
usually very abusive, and he backed way the fuck off.
That's what I thought. I thought that it had that effect because that's the guy I was referring to when I said they have a guy who comes in here all angry, and he actually the whole time wasn't like that. And actually, on I think 2 or 3 occasions, actually sort of spoke in support of me when I was interrupted. But I mean, all I could give here really was a little taste of it because it was a 3-hour debate, and I just picked a chunk, really, a couple of chunks from the start of it, just to really give people a flavour of it. But I think people should go and watch that channel because he got very few views actually. That channel.
Yeah, it was probably the best flat Earth debate that I've ever seen in the time that I've been here.
Really?
And it had 30 people watching.
Right. Yeah. I think it was like 34 or something like that at one time.
Most of the people watching were just people from our Discord and their Discord. So
yeah, and I'm still bumping into people in our Discord at least every day who hadn't come across it or anything. But it was good because I think, you see, this has gone on, I think this was the 4th one, I think it was. And in the previous weeks, what I've noticed is that it's basically them doing their usual thing that they do in that Discord server, is people have to come to them and present evidence for the globe, and they sit there denying it and just, finding ways to deny it. And what I'd said to our guys was, let's try and shift that burden of proof and make them defend some ideas for a bit. And that was really the bit of strategy we had with choosing. Originally, you see, we were going to call it Space is Fake. But I thought that if we do that, it'll just be, you can't have pressure next to a vacuum, and it'll just be that, and it'll be about the actual, the physics of space. And I wanted to make it about, that's why we said the international space conspiracy, because we wanted to make it about space flight, etc. Sorry, go on.
No, that was a really great way to name it too, because it made them realize that they really do have a conspiracy about space.
Right.
They need to justify some of their ideas. Where if you just call it space is fake, that doesn't make them think anything in particular. Really, it's one of their own catchphrases. So it doesn't like that. It actually would just be something they wouldn't even feel bad about hearing that as your argument at all. They would just sit there and go, yeah, space is fake.
Right. Kosho, what are your thoughts? Because you were in this debate as well, and we did have I did have another clip actually, but it's kind of getting late, so maybe I won't play that, but because I haven't got it queued up. It's going to take me a minute to find it. But what are your thoughts?
No, I mean, I'm surprised that you didn't play more of like what would like the sort of later what was happening, where it was like the blatant kind of getting at you. Like they were kind of purposely trying to trigger you, I think, so that you would break the rules or whatever and interrupt them or something like that. I'm not sure,
Right.
but I think that strategy was kind of gross. So I don't know. It's not really a debate. It's kind of like a kid's game at that point. So
right, there was a bit of a plot going on in the chat, wasn't there, that I saw? And I mean, I didn't want to make it all about me. So that's why I didn't include any more. But you know, one of the things actually that got me fuming right off the bat was the fact, and I included it, was that human sheeple guy who came in, and before I'd even spoken, was saying, could he ban me?
Yep.
Before I'd said a word. And that really, really bothered me, you know. It really, it just made me so angry. So I was fired up already, and I'd had a really, really shit day at work. So, yeah.
Yeah, you seemed aggressive, but I remember you saying that you know, it's probably important to press them on so that we don't get pressed on kind of minute details, which are usually, that's actually what almost happened. They try to bring it down to something back on Earth, and I forgot what it was. I think something about long distance sights.
Yeah, and telescopes. What were the optics of the telescope and this sort of thing?
Right. Yeah.
This was for yours when you were talking about sighting the ISS and triangulating its position and working out its speed, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I just think like they were trying to push it back. So what you were saying is right. Like we should, if you know, and so we don't get back into a corner where we're just spending the whole time arguing minute details like that. It's important to press them on that one. But honestly, the dudes that we were debating with, I think like that. Those are some of the bigger dudes there, and so I wouldn't mind having a debate with them again, even just probably with just slightly different tactics. You know what I mean? Like playing on the even queue, so that we're not purposely like destroying the debate. You know what I mean? But those dudes are pretty good dudes there to debate. So,
but I think, you know, destroying the debate. I mean, I think that, you know, they don't really want to debate. They want to do what I've said. They want to sit there and have you try and prove stuff to them, and I think that is a trap that we can fall into easily, especially the other guys on the team with me, because they make arguments that I can't make because I just don't have the knowledge to make it, and they're really knowledgeable, really good at physics and things like that. And they're very, very keen to impart this knowledge. And in doing so, in this debate situation, when you start imparting knowledge and saying this is how it is, then you're starting to make claims that you've then got to defend. And I think that they don't, you know, they're too honest and don't really see that coming. And those guys in 24/7, they're just looking for that. You know, just say it's down to gravity. Just say gravity's the cause. Just say it. Ha ha! Right, now prove gravity. You know.
Okay. I think Lenny Harry said, "Way to talk about a channel, but don't mention the channel, and don't respond to the side chat asking the name of the channel, Kuntz." It's Dr. Science. Dr. Science.
Dr. Science.
Channel.
Well, it's FE Initiative is the name of the channel, the name of the show.
Oh,
yeah.
And I mean, sorry, Jim.
I was going to say, I did say that as I introduced the video, so you can always whiz back and find it.
All right.
But go ahead.
But yeah, anyway, check Dr. Science. Dr. Science is the name of the channel.
I can't get over that name, sorry.
Yeah, it's a hilariously bad name. But anyway, he did a good job with the debates, and it was really well done. In terms, it could have been done better, and when you watch it, you'll know exactly what we mean. But I mean, we haven't really been looking at the chat. I mean, if you go back and read through the recent chat, there's nothing really going on there. Let me see. I
was going to say something real quick about the debates, because I think that the strategy that I think just the idea that we have like a side message, you know, where we can kind of work together and have a unified strategy. I think that is probably important, because then you don't have 4 different people straying off in 4 different directions, and we can also agree in our own time on our side when we want the debate to end. Because I think that went on way too long. Like that was 3 hours, something that we made the points in like the first 10 minutes, and so we could have just like pressed those points, but then I think that we should have agreed on a way to end it, because he gave us a couple opportunities to do that. So,
yeah. I mean, I would have been happy for it to have gone on to another subject, you know.
Yeah.
Because we settled it, so it's like, for me, if I was viewing that, I'd say that went like on our side, but it's like it didn't need to take 3 hours to get there. It was on our side in the first 5-10 minutes. So I don't know.
Well, it's nice of my, people who I thought were friendly to just come and spam my chat like this. So thanks for that, guys.
Nice.
Really good of you, Good on you, Shroomy. Thanks, mate. Just thought I'd mention that as we go past.
Is it Shroomy doing all that?
No, he's done a bunch of 6s, but
Anyway, so any more thoughts on the debate? Quarters, did you manage to watch it?
I didn't watch the whole thing by any means. My tolerance for that decreases over time. But I thought you were completely valid in, trying to hold their feet to the fire, saying if you're going to talk about something quantifiable, where's your mouth? Well, I noticed that immediately you did that. They started having a problem with your tone and your volume. And
right.
It's never an honest debate, and that's what frustrates me most.
I thought. Oh, excuse me.
No, well, I was going to say I think there's a few elements to it like that because later on, I think when I was getting interrupted a lot, the people who were interrupting me were not penalised at all.
Yeah.
And I was for a tiny sort of 10-second infraction, where I sort of just started speaking at the end of an objection that hadn't been called. He just stopped talking. So. Yeah, but the other thing that I think is a factor that hadn't really occurred to me, and Becky, the Australian lady who you heard in there, it was the one that came up with it. She said, "Well, really, there ought to be an away match. You don't normally, in a sporting fixture, you don't play all of your fixtures at your home ground. You have to go away and play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I've suggested that to Dr. Science, but he didn't rule it out. But he just said, "Oh well, I've still got stuff to sort out here first." So, I mean, I actually like that guy. He seems very reasonable, very decent chap.
Love his name.
Apart from being a flat earther.
Dr. Science is brilliant. It's like we call him Mr. Person or something.
I know. I know. He took it that step further, didn't he? You get the odd one that calls themselves doctor, and sometimes you get them that call themselves a scientist. But he's a doctor and a science. He's gone the whole hog. And I don't think he is either. Well,
obviously not.
Shall we round it up then? Because we've been going on quite a long while. I think we should. But, talk amongst yourselves while I get the bloody intro thing ready, because I always forget every week.
Hey, Kosho. Oh, sorry, Curve.
That Curve.
Got a real quick thought on the debate. To me, this type of debate is much like ice hockey. I know a lot of people aren't going to get this, but the championship teams, the ones that win, they all have the most important player on the ice, which is known by the name of the goon or the enforcer. And that's what our side is lacking there. I think you guys might want to implement that into your strategy. And I'll yield the balance of my time to the other guys here.
That did go over my head.
Why is everyone talking about goons at the moment? I've not been around much.
No, I don't know where that words come from. I think
goons the new meme.
Lottie seems to have popularised it.
Right.
Was it that cryptic? Not that I want to go there, but I'm the goon. I'm the enforcer. I'm the guy that takes all the penalties. I'm the one that kicks him in the ass and breaks my foot off.
Well, I'm sure.
Damn, Kurt.
I'm sure you could get on the team.
But I don't want to go there. I don't want to play those guys.
Well, I know Charlie's in the chat, and I know it was mentioned that Charlie would have some special skills that would be good on our team, at least for one debate. So hit me up, Charlie, if you fancy giving it a go.
Well,
slap him around.
Interestingly, sorry. Go ahead, Curve.
I was going to say, aren't Xanax and Gummy Bear on the injured list?
I think they are. No, but I was just saying that I was in 24/7 a second ago, and they were actually asking for you, Curved, on the globe team. That's what they just literally specifically shouted you out. So.
Damn straight, you need the enforcer. Sorry.
Tell them suck it.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's what we would expect from the enforcer, I guess.
He's that boss. Anyway, yeah.
Right, should we go to bed, everyone?
Yeah.
I think we should. So, join us not collectively. Join us again soon. It'll probably be next month, but we'll see. Maybe sooner. For more fabulous flatness. In the meantime, if you see something that you think should be included in the show, please post a timestamp link in the comments section of this video. Or join our Discord server. The link is in the description along with channel links for tonight's panel. Our Discord server has over 1,400 members, and we managed to keep a conversation going virtually 24/7. We welcome new members with opposing views, so click the link and join us. Thanks again to tonight's fabulous panel, and thanks to all of you for watching. We will be back around the same time next week. So until then, please rate, comment, and subscribe, and share this video. Have a great evening. Bye.
You're misleading the public. You're lying to people.
We are part of a giant studio set. All the world's a stage, and you're on it.
Jesus Christ, can suck my dick? Suck my dick?
Suck my dick, Earth, with that bullshit. Man's getting rude.
I'm not clear, right?
It could be a what's it? It could be an onion ring.
A hairless monkey jumping through the vacuum, or a potato rock.
Yeah, if we dumped what we found right now, it'd be bad. It would be bad.
Can't have a flat earth and things making sense.